Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you both for being here today. Administrator Nelson, it's good to see you. About a week ago, I was pleased to be at a conference. I just missed you. You came, I think, the next day. But I was with a couple of your leaders, James Reuter and Thomas Zerbuchin, from the space technology and science areas. And the goal is to combine the skill and resources, both in people and capabilities, of West Virginia, Ohio, and Pennsylvania region to become more active contributors to the our space industrial base. A really exciting conference. I've seen this firsthand at Constellium in Ravenswood, which does a lot of the aluminum, and then also I toured the Astrobotic. I don't know if you got to do that while we were in Pittsburgh, which was exciting to see what they're going to be landing in the fourth quarter. So how do you see this perspective? I know you touched on it a bit with the question that I heard with Senator Moran. The private sector and even the more rural parts of our nation that can really capitalize on the exciting, I think, futures in space.
Specifically, that consortium of 3 states is responsible for 10,000 jobs in the 3 states. And it's impressive what you all have done. Also, while I was there, I did go to Astrobotic, and they revealed the first commercial lander on the moon. This will be, and it will be later this year, this will be the first U.S. landing on the moon since a half century ago, when we last landed with Gene Cernan on Apollo 17. And this is going to be a commercial landing under the CLIPS program, of which we have incentivized the commercial industry to build landers and put scientific payloads on them, many of which are NASA payloads, and do all kinds of things without NASA having to do the lander. And so, for example, there are 3 companies that are going to be landing. One of those companies is going to have a NASA instrument on it. It will land on the South Pole. It'll dig down to see if the water that we know is there in the shadowed crevices on the South Pole, which is now ice, is there water underneath? And if so, then there's the potential for rocket fuel, hydrogen and oxygen. And these are the kind of things that you're doing out there in combining efforts of 3 states, and it's only going to grow.
Yeah, it was really exciting to hear, not just private sector, but the higher ed, educational, and the nonprofit community. As you know, Pittsburgh has some really great community organizations from their long history of building this country that they've are now sustaining and looking at space. Let me ask you one other question about the upcoming OSAM, used to be called Restore-L, and because West Virginia's Robotic Technology Center is a part of that. That's the in-space servicing, assembly, and manufacturing of satellites. What do you think? How important is this? I mean, I can see it, if you could quantify a little bit.
Hugely important. If we are able to service a spacecraft on orbit, then we get extra life out of it. Not only repairs, maintenance, but also fueling.
Right.
And so it makes sense. Right. And we are developing, NASA's developing this capability. We've contracted out for commercial entities to do this as well. And by the way, before you get through, I just want to give kudos to you. You know, we have what we call the IV&V Center in West Virginia, independent verification and validation of software. Right. That's so super important to NASA. And I'm going to be there in a couple of weeks, and I hope your schedule on a Monday morning works out so that you can come with us and then I'll try to get you and whoever in the delegation is with us back to Washington.
Sounds great. That's named for our Katherine Johnson, as you know, one of our proud West Virginians. I was there for the dedication. I look forward to that, and I will be looking at my schedule. Thank you. I have a question for you, but I'll submit it for the record. Thank you so much.